Because I am a woman. Phenomenally. Phenomenal woman. That's me. Quoting the words of Maya Angelou, a very great afternoon to all the phenomenal women who have gathered here. I am Orlin Rudina Maria, first year IT. It is a privilege in welcoming you all for this awareness program on prevention of sexual harassment, Posh law. On this occasion, I thank our correspondent, our director, and our principal as they always ensure the holistic development of the students. I'm immensely happy to welcome our chief guest, Dr. Aditi Kishore, Head, South India RAKSHIN Project and trainer SHAKSHI NGO, New Delhi. Welcome, ma'am. I welcome Dr. D. Manimegalai, Controller of Examination, Chairperson of Posh, National Engineering College. Welcome, ma'am. I welcome the Head of Science and Humanities Department, Dr. M. A. Neelagandan, for being a part of this program. Welcome you, sir. And I also welcome the faculty members as well as my dear student friends for this awareness program. Welcome all. Now I call upon Divyashree, first year IT, to deliver the chief guest introduction.
It is a delight to introduce our today's chief guest because among us we have Dr. Aditi Kishore, Head, South India Action Project and Trainer, SHAKSHI NGO, New Delhi. Dr. Aditi Kishore is a gynecologist and obstetrician by profession. She has rendered her service for over 30 years in the health and wellness industry. She holds an MBBS and from NTR University, DNB from the Diplomate of National Board. She is involved in the social development of children and their health. She is the founder and CEO of a NGO run blood bank for supporting children with thalassemia and leukemia. She has helped in building health awareness programs and engaging schools to participate in the awareness programs. She also contributed to women health promotion programs in community initiative. Now I invite Dr. Aditi Kishore to deliver the chief guest address.
Thanks a lot, Divyashree. Thanks everyone for inviting me here. It's indeed a privilege. And especially I want to thank Tamba sir and Geeta ma'am, who we had contacted 2 years ago. And he remembered us and asked us to come again and give this talk to you all. It is indeed my privilege to do so. Thank you. So I am Dr. Aditi, as you all know, and I represent SHAKSHI, which is an NGO, which is working to prevent child sexual abuse and against harassment from 1992. So I will now take you through this webinar, which is on creating awareness for preventing child sexual abuse and the Pocso Act. So SHAKSHI is an NGO which also believes in equality is inclusiveness. Building organization and has been working on gender equality since 1992. We are also a pioneer in working against sexual harassment at workplace and in preventing child sexual abuse. Just a few etiquettes, as you all know, and Geeta ma'am has also mentioned in the beginning. If all of you are on mute, then we won't have a background noise. If you keep your cameras on, if your data permits, it will be very good, because then I would also see the faces of people whom I'm speaking to. Any queries you have, please reach out to the chat box. And of course, at the end of the session, we will have some question answers that you all can answer. And we'll have a question answer sessions where you all can ask questions, we'll have a discussion, and I will try to answer as much as possible. Any feedback you have, you can also give it to us. We will also be giving you a feedback form in which it would be good if you all fill it up, because that also doubles up as an attendance. We'll also know how much you have been able to really grasp the whole issue. So please fill up the feedback form. And any queries that you have, you can always mail us at hello@sakshi.org.in. I will start this webinar with a trigger warning, because this is a very sensitive topic. And there are some things where you may not like to hear. So at that moment, you can just put the audio video off and maybe join again a little later. And if you still feel that you cannot join now, you definitely should reach out to us so that we can have a talk about what it is that has triggered you, what it is that you have felt bad about. We can have a discussion so that we can resolve the issue and it just doesn't remain with you all. So the agenda what we have today is we are going to be talking about a few topics. We call them the 5 critical messages, which is equality, consent and the power of no, the Pocso Act, and what was the amendment that was put up in 2019. And in spite of the amendments, the barriers which prevent us from preventing child sexual abuse, and safe spaces and the resolution mechanisms. So we will be talking about all this to you all. So all this is for us to make home a safe space. With the lockdown, we made home a safe space from Corona. We realized that homes are not a safe space because immediately after the lockdown, there were a huge number of SOS calls on Childline, out of which a lot of them were also to prevent child sexual abuse. So the work that had stopped because of the lockdown, because before the lockdown, we would go to colleges and conduct workshops. So we then started doing it online because this is a mandate which has been given to us to reach out to 40,000 colleges to 4 lakh students all over India. So we are doing this through various online, offline sessions. We are doing through RAKSHIN fellowships. We have Facebook learning module. We have sustained engagement built for you all. And we also offer resolution mechanism. And this whole thing is a 2-year program. So now you all must be wondering why we are talking to you. Why we are not talking to the children who are actually abused? Because the responsibility of stopping child sexual abuse falls with us adults. It is not the children who are responsible for it. It is we adults who have to stop child sexual abuse. And if we talk to you all young people who are really, you're all are motivated young people. If we talk to you, then if you use skills and the small techniques to recognize people, then you can take this message across. Yeah, Aarti, you want to say something? Aarti, do you want to say something? No? Okay. So if we talk to you all, then you will be able to take this message across to people around you at your homes, in your community, among your friends. And this will create more awareness on how to prevent child sexual abuse. So that is our motive of talking to young people. So let me start with the first critical message, which is equality. What do you all think? Do you think equality is given or is it an aspiration? We have a poll here. So please answer the poll on what you think equality is. Is it given or is it aspiration? I'm very happy to see a lot of answers coming in. As expected, some people say it is given and some people say it is an aspiration. It is because we will never be sure whether equality is given or is it an aspiration, whether we really have equality or not. We really are not very sure. What does our constitution say? The preamble of the constitution says that we, the people of India, we have an equality of status and opportunity. And we have given ourselves this constitution. So the constitution says that we are all equal. But are we really able to feel this equality? Are we able to feel that every one of us is equal? There's so many preconceived notions, biases, prejudices, because of which we feel that our right to equality is denied. We feel we are judged, we are discriminated. And all this put together makes us really feel as if we don't have equality. Let us have a look at this video. It will be a little bit more clear to us.
Everyone, hurry up. Come here. Let's have a race. Shoulder to shoulder. Take off your bags. Tie your laces. The race is about to begin. The winner will get 2000 rupees. But before we start, I will make a few statements. If those are true for your life, then you will take 2 steps forward. And if they are not the truth of your life, then stand wherever you are. Take 2 steps forward. If you live in a house with a concrete roof, take 2 steps forward. If you have running water in your house, 2 steps forward. If you get enough food to eat every day, take 2 steps forward. If you have electricity round the clock, 2 steps forward. If along with studying, you don't have to work to supplement your household income, 2 steps forward. If you have enough savings for unexpected medical bills, 2 steps forward. If you have never been physically abused in your life, 2 steps forward. If you have never experienced sexual violence. Those of you standing up front, turn around and look. Any statement made by me is not a result of any action taken by you, not a result of any personal decision. Whatever I have said, you have no control over those situations. It is obvious those standing in front are closer to this 2000 rupees note. But does that mean that the ones behind cannot outrun you and beat you? No. And if we don't understand this even now, that some of us have better opportunities than others, then that will be a mistake. What is true is that some get better opportunities and they have no reason to whine or complain. Those standing behind also have to run. Everyone is in the race. And this is the time to understand that all stories are not the same. This is the time to understand the lives of another. Because the truth is that if this race was run on equal platform, then all standing in front, maybe none of them would have won. It is possible that maybe today someone from the frontliner will take the note home because they have such a good start, and maybe the race of life is also like that. But remember, you have not got this opportunity as a result of your intelligence or hard work. Now whoever is standing wherever on my voice, run for your life. Go on your mark, get set, go, go! If you can learn something from this, then it is that equality is our constitutional right for sure. But all situations are not the same. Then the question is, how do we practice our right to equality every day? It is our responsibility to protect our right to equality. In order to practice equality every day, we will have to understand that everyone doesn't get equal opportunities. It is our responsibility to keep everyone's social context in mind, because we, the people of India, give ourselves this constitution. It is our constitution.
So, excuse me. So, according to our constitution, we are all on this line of equality. The constitution has given us this equality. But in a day-to-day life, we are not able to appreciate it, and we feel that we are pushed back from this line of equality because of so many situations. Whether we are able to go to college or not, we are able to, because there is no proper transport for the college, or there is no electricity, so we are not able to study. And on similar basis, child sexual abuse, all these things which push us behind from a line of equality, child sexual abuse also falls in that category. A child who has faced abuse definitely is not going to be comfortable with everybody, and is not, and what the right of a child who has the right to have a very happy childhood, that is denied from the child, isn't it? So there goes the right. The right of equality is gone from the child. So, but what is child sexual abuse? Let me start off with a story of a small girl who was 6 years old. She trusted her father like any other child would. The father regularly took his daughter to a hotel room, and in the room, he put fingers in her vagina and inserted his penis in her mouth. All this was, mind you, was happening to a child who was only 6 years old. So would you call this child sexual abuse? We have the polls right now. Please answer the polls. Do you all think that it is child sexual abuse? What happened to this young girl, small girl of 6 years old? That's very nice. All of you are answering. Very fast, I'm getting a whole lot of answers. More than 50% have answered. Very good. If all the 100% answer, I'll be very happy. Some more. It has stopped to 70, 75%. Few more. Can you all answer this question? Most of you have said yes, it is child sexual abuse. There are some who have said no, it is not. Can the people who have said no put the reason in the chat box? And the people who have said yes also can put the reason in the chat box. So what is the reason? Why do the people who say no? I'm just asking the people who have said no, why? Because they are not in the majority. So why do you think it is not child sexual abuse? Can some of you give me this answer? We thought it was child sexual abuse. This case it's a true story, which was brought to us by the mother of the child. And we fought this case. We represented the mother, Srimati Sudesh Jhakko versus KCJ and others. And as the minority over here who said 10 people have said that it is not child sexual abuse. And that is what even the judge said. The judge said that this is not an offense of rape, and we lost the case. So that's why I was asking you all, why do you think that it was not a rape? According to the judgment at that time, it did not constitute rape because the definition of rape at that time was very narrow. It says that for it to be considered as rape, the male organ, that is the penis, has to find its place in the vagina. And because that did not happen, we cannot call it rape. So that is why we lost the case. But we didn't stop. Our battle started. SHAKSHI filed a PIL against Union of India. And with this PIL, we got the 172nd law reform, which had 3 bills were passed. Sexual Assault Act 2010, the Juvenile Justice Act 2010, and the Pocso Act of 2012. So we are now going to talk about the Pocso Act. So what does Pocso stand for? Pocso is protection of children from sexual offense. And the few salient things of this act were, first thing that we had asked is expand the definition of sexual abuse. Because this definition was so narrow that even such a horrible thing as what has happened to this small girl was not considered as an offense. So a whole lot of other acts also, behaviors also were included. I'll show it to you a little later. The second thing which was brought in the law is they included child-friendly measures in the court. So what it means is the child does not have to go to the court every time there is when they have to give evidence. If the child has to give evidence, the child does not have to go to the court every time. But this evidence can be recorded at a place where the child is very comfortable, with people whom the child is very comfortable with. And this is recorded on a camera. And this recording is then presented in the court as evidence. So the child does not have to go. So this really is very good for the child, because imagine the trauma the child would go through having to say the same thing again and again. It will be so traumatic for the child, isn't it? And just the thought of having to go to the court, none of us are very happy. Are we? So the child is even more traumatized with so many people around who are, talking about something, they're shouting, and also the person who's abused the child is also there. So the child will be very scared. So this is a huge benefit to the child. The third thing which was brought in is accountability. What here we mean is, if we come to know of any case of child sexual abuse happening, then we are all accountable to report it. It is our duty to report it. If we do not report it, then if we omit to report it, then omission is commission. What it means is that we are as much as committing the crime if we omit to report. So reporting is mandatory. And where do we report? We report at Pocso e-box at ncpcr.gov.in. But reporting is mandatory. But do you think it's so easy if you just say that reporting is mandatory? There's so many things which happen because of which we feel that we cannot report. We know that something is happening in a neighborhood, but they'll say, why are you bothered? This is something which is happening within our family. You don't talk about it. You just keep out of it. Let's have a look at this video.
पता क्या, मेरे घर के बगल में रहती है, कई सालों से देख रही हूँ। उस आदमी के चक्कर में फंस गई है। मतलब वो आदमी 30 साल का होगा। उसके पेरेंट्स से उसकी अच्छी दोस्ती है, बहुत ट्रस्ट करते हैं उस पर। तो मेरी दोस्त के मम्मी डैडी जब भी काम पे जाते हैं, वो उसको अपने ट्रस्टेड नेबर के घर छोड़ जाते थे। वो उसे इतना प्यार करता था, इतनी अटेंशन देता था दैट माई फ्रेंड स्टार्टेड बिलीविंग दैट वो प्यार में है। मतलब मैंने उसे तभी भी बोला, आई टोल्ड हर कि तुम 11 साल की हो, प्यार बड़ों में होता है, बच्चों और बड़ों में नहीं। बट वो मेरी बात नहीं मानी और उसने मुझे भी चुप करा दिया। आज वो 16 साल की है और कहती है कि 2 सालों और की बात है और फिर दोनों वो शादी कर लेंगे। बट अभी तो वो चाइल्ड सेक्सुअल अब्यूज है ना। 11 साल की उम्र से चल रहा है एंड शी इज ओनली 16। मतलब मैंने उसकी मम्मी डैडी को जब बताया तो उन्होंने मेरा ही उसके घर आने से मना कर दिया। कहते आई एम अ बैड इन्फ्लुएंस। तो मैं क्या करूं? चुप हो जाऊं? रिपोर्ट करूं? आई डोंट नो व्हाट टू डू। आप बताओ।
So what do you think? Let's answer the polls. Should she report or she should not? Can you all please mute yourself? Disturbance in the background. I can see lot of people saying that they have to report, and that is absolutely right. We have to report it. Even if the child says that it is okay, my parents are fine with it, I'm going to marry that person. But what is right now happening is an abuse. According to the law, anybody indulging, even if it is with consent, even if both the parties are agreeable to it, it is still an abuse and it has to be reported. It is mandatory that we report it. And if we don't want to let our name be known, we can also report it anonymously.